Langston Hughes spread the news of a mother's blues. We believed it took a mother to nurture a son, a village to raise a child, a father for added guidance, protection, and smiles. All the while, Langston Hughes spread the news of a mother's blues. Because her life son ain't been no crystal stair. She's black. Or brown, with kinky hair coiled and tightly wrapped like perseverance's grip and choking out despair. My climb, my ascent on life's staircase, meant to inspire nerve and service fodder for your intended greatness. Through the darkness, and life for me ain't been no crystal stair, breaking generational curses with candid conversations. Yeah, talk is cheap and life is hard. But we kin folks, kin folks, kin folks, kin folks, kin folks, kin folks.
Happy Pride, y'all! June is officially Pride Month. But know this, there are cities right here in the United States celebrating Pride with events, strategic planning meetings, just everything you can imagine, parades, and that is going on before June and all the way through November. Thanks for stopping by. This is Kin Folkx, the Mother to Son edition, and I am El Monique, the mommy, the host, and dare I say, unapologetic lesbian womanist, blessed to be in your ear today. Welcome to Kin Folkx, and again, happy rainbow season, y'all. For almost 2 decades now, Charlotte, North Carolina has been the place that I call home. It's where I reside. But I'm still, and also, a proud native New Yorker, the birthplace of pride. Not so long ago, in 1969, a series of protests led to what would later be known as the Stonewall Uprising. The protests leading up to this lasted for several days, and they were widely considered a turning point in the fight for LGBTQ rights. The first Pride March was held later that year, and it was a celebration and a commemoration of the Stonewall Uprising. Back then, the LGBT community routinely faced discrimination, isolation, and systemic oppression. It was an everyday thing, y'all. Like racism, it seemed to be woven into the fabric of societies and nations like the United States who upheld these injustices with the use of harmful and hateful legislation. I'm talking about laws and bigoted attitudes that were enforced by police departments like the NYPD that seemed to, I'm just going to say it, they seemed to take pleasure in humiliating and brutalizing the LGBTQ community members. Y'all, there were laws on the books that required folks to wear at least 3 items of clothing that match their assigned sex at birth, or else risk public humiliation and jail time. It was called the 3-article rule, and it was used by police in the 40s, 50s, and 60s to target LGBTQ folks, especially trans and gender non-conforming folks. Can you imagine? Can you imagine being stopped by a police officer and being subjected to such bullshit? Can you imagine the madness like this that literally went on in New York and other places until one night the patrons of the Stonewall Inn had enough of the raids, the brutal attacks, the rapes, the being dragged off to jail. They'd had enough. And on that night, which was June 28th, 1969, they fought back with a fierceness and a magnitude that hadn't been seen before. Now, don't get me wrong and don't come for me. I'm not telling you that everybody else in the LGBT community in New York or anywhere else was just complacent and going along up until then. No, people were protesting. People were raising their voices. But what happened at Stonewall was monumental. Fast forwarding to a half a century later, today that is, 56 years after Stonewall, Pride is celebrated in every state across the U.S. and in many countries abroad. Today, Pride celebrations draw millions of attendees, and New York's police force actually has an LGBT fraternal organization that marches every year in New York's Pride Parade. It's just, they're marching in uniform with their families in New York's Pride Parade. Representation like that gives me hope, y'all. Every year that I see the original Stonewall protesters, and there are still some with us today, teachers, clergy, folks from places where they'd be killed just for being same-gender loving, just for being gender non-conforming. Every year when I see these people march, it does something to me. I love Pride, and it holds such a value for me that for 27 years in a row, I didn't miss a Pride parade. I was also drawn to keep going every year because I understood, and I still understand, the event's history, the relevance, and the inspiration Pride provides for continuing to work towards equity and inclusion. Because as Angela Davis has said, and been quoted for saying, if they come for me in the morning, they will come for you in the night. In the meantime, during the day and well into the night, my love affair with poetry, spoken word in particular, has afforded me the opportunity to perform for just about every Pride on the East Coast from New York to Florida. One of the fondest memories that I have of doing that, of performing for Pride, was meeting and opening for Crystal Waters at a DC Black Pride back in the day. Ms. Waters showed this podcaster 100% pure love. She was inviting, was, and still is, sexy, and so grounded that I forgot that I was in the presence of such a musical icon and legend. It was really an awesome experience. But moving right along, all that did was encourage me to keep performing for Prides. I'd perform for any Pride that invited me, still will, and sometimes I even bartered services for events that I couldn't afford, like Pride cruises and certain concerts. I loved it. I still love it. Loved it then, loved it now. And within 2 weeks of moving to Charlotte, the first event that I ever attended was Charlotte Black Pride's Festival. I performed for that festival. I'd only been here 2 weeks, y'all. My house was still nothing but boxes while I was spitting poems in the heat, wrapped in my signature rainbow sarong. It was this one, y'all. Yeah, this is a skirt, it's a dress, it's a halter. Today it's a head wrap, it's whatever I need it to be. And I was wearing it that day. That was during the 27-year streak of attending New York Pride parades. So as you might imagine, I'm living in Charlotte. I'm still going back to New York every year for Pride. We drove. That was a 12-hour drive. Well, one year my boo said, you know what? I know there's no place like New York. I know you love going to New York Pride, but why don't we try something else? Why don't we see what Pride looks like in other areas of the country where Pride is happening at the same time it happens in New York, always it's the last Sunday in June. So we started doing that. I think it was around 2016 or something like that when we went to San Francisco for their Pride, and later to Atlanta, and then to Honolulu, Hawaii for their Pride, and then it stopped. This little nasty thing popped up. This time it wasn't bigotry, it was COVID. And so we weren't comfortable with traveling the way we had previously been. But we didn't miss New York's World Pride. And that pride celebrated 50 years since the Stonewall Rebellion. That pride was a 10-hour parade. 10 hours of marching, chanting, dancing, going strong from beginning to end. And if I sound a little tongue-tied, it's because I am a native New Yorker. I know what extra looks like, honey. But even for me, it was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And the route is so long. Just imagine. Hats off to every drag queen who marched for miles in the heat for all those hours so that we could celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Stonewall Rebellion. And this brings me to my most recent World Pride experience. On Saturday, June the 6th, I drove with my partner to DC for World Pride. I am all in, y'all. I'm a faithful Pride goer, and I am ready. I am extra. Do not show up to Pride and be anywhere near me if you can't take the extraness. I have everything. Let me show you. So, this is my Pride bag. It's the one I'm using this year. I have everything that I feel like I need. Well, not every single thing in the bag. I don't have any water in here, but just to show you, this is, like I said, I'm extra, and you might think I'm exaggerating, so let me show you what I mean. So I have my flags. I'm always wrapped in rainbow. I have my noisemakers. You will not ignore me doing Pride. That's just one of my noisemakers. I have a bell. And when that's not enough, and some float has music, we doing that. Have my fans way before boots on the ground, y'all. Got the fan, okay? It's for effect, and it's for to be cool. This is my favorite Pride something. These ribbons, I love these. I just think they're pretty and sexy, and yes, y'all. What else I got in here? Whistle. Can't go to Pride without a whistle, y'all. Okay? They're cheap. They're easy to carry. But here's my favorite thing to show you. Because during this episode, you're going to have an opportunity to meet some of the people that I met and interviewed. And every single person that I met and interviewed ended up with what? Boom! Kin Folkx t-shirt! We got merch now. We got merch. And everyone I interviewed ended up with one of these shirts. And you can get one too. That's right. KinFolkx365@gmail.com. Drop me a line. If you want to be on the show, I would love to have you. If there's a Pride going on that you think I need to be at, let me know. Because after this, we are going to New York, y'all. And I will be live streaming so you can see what it's like in New York for Pride, and particularly right about now. Now, you'll have heard me say that I love Pride. I don't know how many times. And I do. But attending World Pride in DC this year, during this time in history, felt especially important. I wanted to see what it would feel like standing in the shadow of the White House for a World Pride whose theme this year was the fabric of freedom. While other folks in the White House are hard at work trying to strip me of every right and dignity my intersectionality threatens. I wanted to see if, would it feel more like a demonstration, or would it feel like a celebration, or a combination of the two? Surprisingly, I didn't notice many groups chanting or rallying against any of the current legislation. Honestly, it felt pretty much like any other Pride parade, except it was longer in duration. And initially, it was a little anticlimactic for me. That's until I sort of just leaned into the parade the way I typically would, paying homage to my rainbow ancestors, meeting LGBTQ family members from around the world who just allowed me to be in all my extraness. And I'm extra, y'all. like a bag of Skittles that are neon colored and glow in the dark. But the point is that pride also allows us to recharge so that we can be inspired and we can go back home and gather the strength and the tools that we need to fight the fight for equality and dignity. And that said, please stick around. You've heard enough of my voice right now, so I'm going to ask you to just stick around and join me to hear more of it. But this time I'll be interviewing some wonderful people that I met in D.C. at World Pride. Like me, they were there in hopes of finding community, celebrating the ability to live authentically. And it's been a rough 6 months. So yes, hell yeah, we need to celebrate joy and party and all of that too. But while you're doing that, you know, Kin Folkx is about making change one conversation at a time. So I want you to remember, this time, in my opinion, we need to move beyond the conversation to action. Here at the Capitol for World Pride. Yes! And I am sitting here with the first person today willing to share a little bit with Kin Folkx. So, tell everybody who you are.
Hello, my name is Eric with a CK Goldsmith. I am from Reading, Pennsylvania, and I'm super happy to be here.
Awesome, awesome. So, how do you identify?
I identify as a cisgender heterosexual man, but bi-curious is where I'm sort of at the moment.
Awesome. How are you feeling today? I feel a lot of love in the air. How are you feeling?
I also feel a lot of love in the air, and it's been great. It's been really great. Very warm, but everyone has been so warm to me as well.
Did you hear that? He's a gentleman. He said it's very warm. Now, I would have said it's hot as fuck out here, y'all, but that's okay. It's very warm, and yes, it is. You see, I'm sweating. I don't even have on any finishing spray today. So y'all better get it in right now. So let me ask you one of our Kin Folkx questions, okay? Because I'm out here promoting unity. I want to see some accountability when it comes to legislation for LGBTQ folks. And I also want to make sure that everyone is practicing safer sex. That's why I gave you that little lollipop there. Are you practicing safe sex?
I am.
Every day?
Whenever I'm having it, yes.
And that's all you need to know, everybody, whenever he's having it. Is there anything you're doing that you want people to know about or to be able to contact you?
Yeah, so I'm an actor, Smith, the storyteller on Instagram. I'm a part of a film right now called Broken Redemption, which is about raising awareness about domestic violence. So for anyone looking to help donate and make it a reality, you can find me on my page, E.Smith_the storyteller.
Y'all heard that right? So we about to give Eric with a C a little bit of merch. And I hear the soundtrack to my own love affair in the background. I heard Cece Peniston was going to be here, so there will be no interviews until she's done, honey. I'm about to act a fool and get all sweaty. Thank you. This is Kin Folkx. So I'm back here still in the Capitol World Pride. Wait till you see this, though. I'm in the area where they have all the vendors. You got to see it.
So the product is called My Practice Candy. It is a hard candy lollipop in the shape of a penis or vagina, and a vagina.
Now?
Turn around now. The vagina is a butter. It's an egg, all right? We have different flavors and sizes. The flavors are strawberry, mango, and blue raspberry, and watermelon, all right? The prices are very inexpensive. $10, 15, 20, and 30. They increase based on the size.
Y'all heard that? Y'all can lick a coochie for $15.
Right.
And it's legal.
Right.
And I hope it doesn't have any high fructose corn syrup.
So I'm a candy maker, and one of the reasons why I made the candy is because, one, there are a lot of people that do not understand the importance of basically sexual pleasure, sexual wellness, right? In addition, some people are apprehensive about trying new things such as the buttocks area, right? So what I did is I made the candy, which allows them to experiment first, and then it'll basically let them be a little bit more open to be receptive of that particular aspect of their sexual experience.
She said aspect, y'all. Be a little bit open. I mean, the wordplay is killing me here. But what I heard is if you were thinking about putting your tongue in somebody's booty, but you're a little bit nervous about it, you might want to try one of these. First, it's Kin Folkx, y'all. Here for Pride.
I'm back. I know I keep saying that, but I haven't gone anywhere. I'm still in the Capitol, celebrating World Pride, meeting interesting, very attractive people who are willing to speak to me today. So who am I talking to?
My name is Tyree, SEN.
Where are you from?
I'm from West Palm Beach, Florida.
Did you say West Palm Beach? That's what the body is about?
I'm sorry?
That's what the body is about? West Palm Beach? That's a West Palm Beach body, y'all. In case you want this, that's where you gotta go. Are you enjoying Pride?
I am. It's not actual first like DC Pride out here, so I'm really enjoying it. Having a good time.
So this is your first Pride, and it just so happens to be occurring in the Capitol, in the space that seems to be working so diligently at oppressing and erasing us using legislation. So much. How does that make you feel? Does it alter your experience today?
To be honest, it did, and honestly does bring a little bit of some anxiety, but I feel like it's important to remember, that our ancestors have been through more and worse, and they've gotten through it, sometimes with less. So I think this is a reminder of like what's actually important, like, and what's gonna get us through the hard times. Like as long as we continue to sit together, fight for what we believe to stand for. Whether you are queer, whether you're not, whatever. And I feel like at the end of the day, like justice will be served on its time, and it's just our duty to see it through.
Well, I'm feeling hopeful. I heard you say whether you are queer or you're not. How do you identify?
I am queer.
Does your mom know?
Yes.
Is she supportive?
She's growing to be.
She's learning to be. She's growing to be. Awesome. So that sounds like the two of you need to be on Kin Folkx and let us help you navigate some of those challenging conversations. I'm based in Charlotte, but if you can't make it there, we can do it virtually. I just want to thank you so much. I want to end this with, tell your mom what you need.
I just need her to keep being the mother that she is. Like I said, we have a great relationship. I think our relationship has shown that, parents are their own people too. They have their own histories. She was my mother, but she was just, a woman before me, and she had to learn life and things like that. So we've grown and learned life together, and we've been lucky to really come together and like have this whole space for each other. So I'm grateful for that,
That's wonderful. And as a mom who knows I am still evolving, I really appreciate you extending that grace to your own mother. So thank you so much.
So, from the nation's capital, the capital of the United States, I'm not so feeling like saying our capital right now. There's a lot of bullshit going on the Capitol Hill, and I'm not happy about it. However, I am out here with a protesting spirit and celebrating authenticity, celebrating pride. I just mean, like a wonderful woman, talk about celebrating and why it is so important that we shape our own narratives and make sure that history does not die with a human being. And I am talking to...
Hi, I'm Anne-Marie Gothard, and I am the co-founder for the Stonewall National Monument History Center. And we're the first LGBTQ visitor center within the National Park Service. So our mission is to protect and preserve the Stonewall legacy.
Wait a minute, is this the place where they started removing flags?
Well, the park did. I'm pleased to say that the Visitor Center is independently owned and operated by my wife and I. We own and operate it, so we do not fall under this executive order, which allows us to create the program, and we complete the whole story of everybody, from the diversity of the people that are involved to all the things that are important to our community.
So let me translate what I just heard. Grant funding may be wonderful, and so might a 501c3. However, being in a position to not have to worry about losing your funding, with what you are doing is literally a humanitarian effort. This couple has figured out just how to do it. Is that right?
That is correct. That is correct. We receive no federal funding, so it's through individual donors, the grants, and other programs. We figured out a way in which to support our mission and to create a visitor center that is truly representative of our entire community.
We're stopping right there because that's what I want y'all to hear, though. We figured out a way. That's the part I want you to take away from this entire conversation. And then part 2 is Stonewall National Monument Visitor Center. Y'all know I'm a native New Yorker, okay? The skirt came from a little shop about 4 blocks away from the Stonewall Bar. So learn your history, y'all, and figure out how to do for self at Pride. Okay, so still at the Capitol. The Pride Parade and the concert is over, and I'm, bugging a few folks about what their experience has been like today. And I have with me
Jay,
stylish and the wife from
Boston.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. We're from City Business. But this part is rocking today out here. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That is crab cake capital. I couldn't even get it out. Crab cake capital. Oh, yes. And they know how to do it too, honey. But I'm not going to start giving y'all all the spots that I go to when I am there, because my brother lives there, so I do get a chance to go there. Shout out to Morgan State.
No, I go there.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, my
last
God.
year.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Black excellence all up in the house. That's what I am hearing. So, what was today like for you? We're in the Capitol. I don't want to lead you with your answer, but we know everything that's going on as it applies to anti-LGBT legislation. And now it's World Pride and we're in the Capitol. So, you know what? The White House is right behind us. So talk to whatever person you would like to. I'm not giving power by name. So I'm just going to say whatever person. What would you want to say?
That you can't erase us. We've been here for years, since the beginning of time. You can't erase us. We're always going to be here. We are the culture. We will forever be the culture. We make waves in this country, and whatever you think you might be able to do with us, you can, because we'll always come back 10 times stronger.
Okay, y'all heard that? We're here to stay. I heard something about we're here to stay. I'm going to add to it and unify everybody. We got to work together because we are here to stay. Who do you want to talk? What do you want to say about what your experience was like today?
It was good. Like, since we are from Baltimore, it's different experiences. I would say that here, I felt like it was more like organized, more vendors. I see more like black vendors, on their business and materials, clothes, earrings, jewelry, everything like that. It was just a different experience, but add on to what he said, definitely be all concerned, can't be erased. I feel like they try to talk bad, they try to erase us, they try to dim us down, they try to dim our light, but they also love us. So it's like, which one? Which one? You gotta pick and choose, because regardless, we still gonna be here, still gonna shine.
So y'all on the fence, people should need you to make up your mind. You're loving us, you're not loving us. You figure that shit out.
Very much iffy.
Yes. All right, so this is Kin Folkx, and we always talk about what's difficult to talk about. So I didn't ask anybody. I don't know who I'm talking to. Allies, members of the community. How do you identify?
I am gay, non-binary. Yeah, that's the cisgender gay man. I mean, I'm whatever. He, him, they, them. I'm one of the girls, I'm one of the sisters. But yes, I am a gay man.
Okay.
Just here for the pride.
I identify as bisexual. I like men and I like.
Okay, so we're doing the gamut here. We're only missing a trans sister brother. Yes, so happy Pride, y'all. And thank you so, so very much for being here with me.
Thanks for joining us, Kin Folk. Stick around and remember to follow, like, and subscribe to all our social media platforms. We're on all of them, y'all. So join us. Stay with us for this Pride season as I go live from New York. And of course, in August, I will be live straight from Charlotte's Pride, Asada, Nairobi. I love you, baby.